Ladies and gentlemen, I've always wanted to start off that way, so I had to do it this time. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Gunn Show, where we're not flexing our muscles or showcasing the latest in firearm tech. However, I do have a secret. Today's guy just might do it. So normally we make the little joke, if you showed up to the Gunn Show with 2 N's and you showed up because of weightlifting and muscles, I don't have any of those. If you showed up because of weapons, I don't have any of those. However, yeah, you're going to love today's episode if you accidentally stumbled in for guns, because my guest definitely today has a part of that world. So usually we don't talk about that kind of stuff, but rather we're aiming our spotlight on the true backbone of innovation and craftsmanship, the manufacturing industry. Imagine stepping onto a stage where the unseen heroes of everyday life emerge from the shadows, revealing the brilliance and complexity of creating the world as we know it. I'm your host, Tony Gunn, here to guide you through the captivating world of manufacturing, a realm often invisible yet vital to our everyday lives and the future we dream to build. Remember, if it weren't for manufacturing, we wouldn't have smartphones or computers, which means, ironically, we'd have to talk to each other in person. So, thank you, manufacturing, for saving us from awkward social interactions. So tune in, stay curious, and let's get ready to uncover the stories, the people, and the technology behind the products we use every day. Forget what you thought you knew about manufacturing. The Gunn Show is here to surprise, enlighten, and, hopefully, entertain you, proving that sometimes the most powerful forces are those we don't see. Christian? Bad joke of the day. They keep getting worse, I think. I'm running out of jokes to tell, but I have 2 today. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's hear it.
All right, let's see if you have an answer for the first one. The second one's just kind of like a 2 guys walk into the bar thing. But the first one, did you hear about the manufacturer who tried to be an influencer?
No.
No, me neither, because it doesn't happen, but that's not the joke. The joke is, he said it was easier to craft a new smartphone from scratch than to get teenagers to look up from their smartphones.
I actually would agree with that.
Yeah, a joke. It's one of those funny, not funny kind of things.
That's just
right?
a fact.
Yeah.
It's not a joke.
The truth and jest. Yeah. The second one is, a manufacturer and a TikToker walk into a bar. The TikToker says, "I can make you famous." The manufacturer replies, "I made the phone you're filming on and the bar."
Those are a little bit higher quality than the last couple of shows.
Not so bad this time, I guess.
Those weren't too bad. I got a giggle.
I did a lot of Googling. It's like I went through probably 100 jokes before I got to 2 good ones. That's how difficult it is these days. All right. Well, now that we've done that, thank you, MTD CNC. This is a wonderful production. Thank you for allowing us to host the Gunn Show Podcast, especially the VIP edition here with the podcast junkies, Christian and Ben, such incredible people. We do value ourselves as the Joe Rogans of manufacturing. The studio is phenomenal. I mean, cameras everywhere. You get a powder studio if you want it. This is what makes it VIP, and these studs are here to help. So also, if you're interested in doing your own podcast here in Boca Raton, reach out to these guys. They're brilliant. We also want to thank our sponsors, AMT. We got IMTS coming up. Everyone's pumped about that. Hopefully the largest, most attended show in the history. I know that there's a bunch of new companies going. I'll definitely myself be speaking there a little bit, hopefully to the student summit and the kids there. And we got some other after hours stuff, some podcasting, a lot going on, some center stage stuff as well. So I hope to see you all there. And then EBITDA Growth Systems, one of my favorite quotes. I say this just about every week, but if a company comes out and tells you we can double your profits within 3 years, that's one heck of a promise, one heck of a guarantee. And that's what EBITDA Growth Systems does. So shout out to Mike and Dave from there, who were actually in the studio not too long ago. Christian got to meet them as well, and always laughing and smiling and educating us. On this show, we always play a couple of games. It's always up to my guest to decide what we will play, but my guest today has decided on the sound effects challenge, which I am, well, I was going to say I'm horrible at, but I'm really, really bad at 2 truths and a lie. Sometimes I get the sound effects game, but apparently I just trust everyone. I don't know what the deal is. And the other game today is Would You Rather, which is kind of a fun situation. Oftentimes, not a perfect situation, but would you rather be stuck in one or the other? I won't make any dirty jokes about that. It's going to be about manufacturing, not anything other than that. All right, so please put your hands together. I can't hear you. There it is. Put your hands together for my guest, Mingran Qian, owner and operator of Q2 Machining. Now, I myself get to learn a lot today as well because he's somewhat of a mystery. Even though he was ranked 3rd in the world in some form of shooting, which I'm going to let him go into details about, I've searched for him on social media. I found him at SHOT Show. There's not a ton of social media out there, but this young man has a machine shop where quality is key. Quality is everything, and we're going to talk about what he makes, the decision to get into manufacturing, knowing he graduated from Michigan State University, and where he is today. But I really want to get into the fun part that I know Christian wants to talk about too, about being third in the world in shooting and in some of that cool stuff. So, my friend, Mr. Mingran Qian, how are we today? Welcome back to the Gunn Show, my friends. This is the VIP edition.
Very well, very well. Thank you for having me. Enjoying the sunshine down here in Florida after the long winter in Michigan. I cannot expect any more than that.
Well, the sunshine did show up for you because we've had an unusually chilly winter. And although, let me not just be a jerk about it. I mean, we did get down into the 60s, but the rest of the country would beg for 60s, I think, right?
Oh, yeah.
For those of you who are listening across the world, I apologize. I can't do the translation from Celsius to Fahrenheit. I'm real bad at it. I mean, can you do Celsius to Fahrenheit?
Not anymore.
Not anymore, yeah. I don't understand the math. Other than 0 and 32, I pretty much don't have it.
Right.
But we talk about that all the time. All right, my friend. So before we get into your current journey and your manufacturing and Michigan and all of that, you were ranked in the world number 3 at what I think will fascinate a lot of the audience members out there. Would you, before you even get into the rankings part, talk about how you got into it, the practice, the learning, the growth, the competitions you were in, and as far as you got within that world?
Wow, that's a very good question. That feels like bringing me back to my previous life now.
I love it.
Yeah, so, well, I came to Michigan State at 09 and I spent 4.5 years there. And during the time, and I was looking at something to do, and especially with a boy growing up, you either love cars, love guns, or you love tank or airplane. I'm the one who happened to land on guns, and this is America, right? So immediately I was looking into the laws and the regulations. Okay, what do I need to do to own a firearm legally? And then I was able to figure out, okay, Michigan, there's certain class you need to take, there's certain certificate you need to obtain and permit that you have to renew every year. And I did all that, and I went to the gun store and I bought my very first pistol at 21 years old.
Wow.
So, and then immediately I was, I started to handle this, and just thinking back, the 2 pistol in my mind at that time, one was the 1911, because that shows up in every single literature and magazines, and another one was Glock. So I ended up decided to go with the Glock route because it's a little bit lighter and it looks a little more modern. A lot of people say it's not a good-looking gun, but that gun is reliable. So I was able to, spend some time behind that, and one of my friends was introduced me to this competitive shooting sports. Well, on a side note, I was riding motorcycle at that time, and I had a very, very bad accident.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I kind of spent 5 days in ICU and another 5 days in orthopedics, and they were able to patch me back together with some titanium aftermarket parts in me. So, yeah, and then it was a pretty not fun experience, and the shooting part I picked it up kind of like a recipe for me. So a lot of people will go into like a physical therapy, doing like movement on the leg and stuff. And I started to do this competitive shooting thanks to this friend that brought me into this. I was the very first match I was shooting with the stick on my hand. So, and then decided to keep on doing what I do. And then I think shooting is very, very mentally relaxing because you're hyper focused during the time. And the shooting discipline I started shooting called IDPA, International Defensive Pistol Association, and they are more tailored toward defense. So it's a running and gunning type of shooting, and also like taking covers. And then later on, I spent 13 months to rank the highest master class, and I keep on going to different local matches, state level match, regional matches, and national level matches, and so that was 2013. So wow, 11 years has gone by, huh?
Wow.
So yeah, last year I was able to compete in the World Championship, which held every 4th year, and I was lucky enough to finish the 3rd in the world in master class. So yeah.
That's incredible. Christian, do you have any questions? I mean, I have some questions I want to bounce off of, but I know you're kind of a gun guy, and I want to give you an opportunity to ask a question as well today. Do you have anything?
Yeah, I mean, we could do a whole extra show just on the guns that you've shot.
Should we have him back?
Yeah. I think we should just do a separate show. So,
Right.
what's your favorite gun out of all the guns you've shot? What is your favorite gun?
It's gotta be my competition gun. It's a Glock 34.
A Glock 34. Okay.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. I carry a Glock 19 because of the compact size, but in terms of its balance, the size, it fits my hand very, very well. And that gun is reliable. I think for anything that we do, especially when it comes to self-protection, reliability is the most important thing.
I want to ask a question as well. Actually, I have a billion questions. We're in manufacturing, so of course I'm going to bring up your accident a little bit more if you can go back to that time, even though you might suffer trying to relive it and talk about the manufacturing that's involved in an injury like that. You might have plates in you right now. But before we even do that, it seemed like a really quick time frame to go from I like guns to I'm third in the world in this masterclass shooting. What was the time frame of I'm 21 years old and I got a gun and now I'm third in the world?
Well, 11 years, right?
11 years.
10, 11 years. It's definitely not short time.
It seems short to me. I mean, I played at a high level for a couple of sports, right? And it took me a long time, and a lot of dedication. So maybe I'm incorrect in that thinking. Is it easier? I don't want to underplay how difficult it is to shoot guns. I got friends that are brilliant at it.
Well, obviously, there's a lot more professional leagues out there. Unfortunately, the firearm shooting league, there's nowhere near as competitive, but it still is. In order to be at the highest level, you need to spend a lot of time and effort and energy, money too, with the ammo and all that. So I'm a strong believer of 10,000 hours rule. So if you ever want to be something excellent, to become a master in something, and 10,000 hours is that how you're going to start.
Christian, have you spent 10,000 hours on anything?
No.
So neither of us are professionals at anything, but we got Ming with us today, so that's really what the show's about anyway. All right, so I do want to talk about, and I am going to segue to that 10,000 hours, that professionalism, that strive to be great, because you have segued into a machine shop now, and we want people to know about the products you create, the quality that matters to you, the importance of the design and the finish and what they look like. But before we get into that, can we talk a little bit about that accident? Because on here all the time, I'm constantly talking with Christian, which means that I'm constantly talking with people outside of the industry that I'm trying to entertain and connect dots with. So I constantly talk with Christian about how can we, make those dots connect between outside the industry and inside the industry. And one of the first things that pops up all the time is the medical world. And we want our manufacturing engineers to get the same high five as the doctors, right? Like, thank you for doing what you did,
Exactly.
And the doctors would really struggle without the people who are making the parts, right? So I don't want to make you sad or go back to a time that...
We're good.
Okay, we're good. But can you talk a little bit about that accident and what the manufacturing side of the medical world did for you at that time?
I was riding this motorcycle on racetrack. It was a track day over the weekend. I was riding my own bike at that time. And then Sunday after I get back, one of my friends said, hey, I got the other bike. You want to try? I said, sure. I was took the ride and on the local country road, and no car, no nothing, taking some curves, and I don't remember what happened next.
Wow.
And I was told there was by an incoming car. I didn't clock into that car, but I was told I just slide off the road and hit a tree, and then the bike hit me. So I spent $600 on that helmet, and then that helmet cracked. That's probably the most valuable $600 I ever spent. That probably saved my head. So
wow.
And I spent 5 days in ICU. They patched me up 2 or 3 surgeries on my leg, on my head, and then I got some plates, got some titanium screw. I was told. Never got a chance to really see, but definitely if I see one, I can definitely appreciate the craftsmanship out there. And so doctors and the surgeons did incredible job, and I was able to recover in less than a year.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that story. I know we'll stick back to the other area of why we're here today, and this to talk about what you make. You and I, we have mutual friends in common. We've been at trade shows in similar locations. We've high-fived each other. We've considered having this conversation for a long time. I've always wanted to learn more about you and learn more about your shop. And in doing so, I think it's important to also recognize for the audience listening and watching right now, whether you're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Google, the MTD website, wherever you choose to pay attention to this, is that obviously MTD is a marketing company, and we do a lot of research online. I was doing research on you, Ming, and I see a little bit of Instagram, a little bit of Facebook,
little bit, yeah.
but not a whole lot on LinkedIn or YouTube or these types of things. So I do think that you and I coming together to share who you are and what you do can be of great benefit to our audience and to the awareness of what you've created. So you decided to get into manufacturing. What made you want to do that crazy jump?
Growing up, I've always been a hands-on person. In my elementary school, I was involved in robotics and doing robotics, and then started to be doing competition in robotics, and then got into this middle school, which have a robotic program. So I pretty much got to the middle school without any sort of admission or any sort of exam, and then I spent another 3 years. So 5 years I spent in robotics growing up. So that was the first time I did my 10,000 hour, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I really devoted my 10,000 hours there, which means my schoolwork started kind of dropping, as you may understand. And then, after that, I kind of steer away from this hands-on, going to this high school, and then came to Michigan State. At Michigan State, I was wanting to be an engineer, and then soon realized my math is not that good. I was quick in algebra, but anything after algebra, when it got into calculus, that kind of stopped me. So that prevented me from an engineer, but it doesn't really prevent me from being an engineer in my heart. So I ended up having a communication degree in Michigan State University, and then went to this firearm accessory and parts manufacturer doing sales, and mostly OEM side of the sales. That's why in my early career, I was able to involve in this industry and kind of know the structure pretty early on. And in 2020, I just decided to, hey, maybe it's time to, I started to do my own thing. And the year before, I bought a little CNC machine that can plug in my garage, 115 volt. I'm not sure, should I mention the brand?
Sure, why not? Let's name drop. Let's shamelessly name drop today. Why not?
Yeah, I bought a Tormach 770.
That is a very normal garage. Yeah, Tormach is known for that.
Right, yes. So, all of a sudden, everything started to come together. I think our generation growing up, we're pretty decent with computer anyway. And so all the CAD system, all the CAM system, so it just started to come together. I think I'm a mechanically inclined person. So if you're mechanically inclined, if you're good with computer in some ways, you're definitely going to be good at CNC. So I was able to play with this garage machine for 6 months, and realized, okay, this is what I want to spend my next 10,000 hours on.
Wow.
Right. So when the time is right, I submit my resignation to my previous employer, which is they are very supportive of me coming out do my own thing, and I just find a shop space. And at that time, Haas was the only machine that I know, and at least the only machine have a sticker price on their website. So I know what I was getting into. That was the late 2020 when COVID hit. It was apparently a very good time to buy a machine, because apparently COVID, everybody else shut down, and a machine tool distributor trying to get rid of the inventory. So immediately I got the VF3 with a 5-axis trunnion, thinking this is the only machine I'm going to need for a very, very long time. So I shot that into my 2,000 square feet shop. And then as soon as I was thinking, okay, I had some experience in competitive shooting. How about I design some little things that I can sell? So I started to do some pistol base pad, some optic plates. And then as soon as I let the people know, hey, this is what I can do now, my old customer from my previous job just coming to me say, hey, Ming, now you have your own shop. Can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? And all of a sudden I become a contract manufacturer.
I did research for my next opportunity because I wanted to write a book. And I came across this statistic that 70% of small business owners want to fund their retirement through the sale of their business, when in fact only 20% of them actually had a saleable business. And it broke my heart anticipating the fact that baby boomers, there was a light at the end of the tunnel, and in fact it was a train. And so I really wanted to do something about that. So I wrote a book called Scaling the Exit. That's good. The purpose of the book was to articulate a strategy for small to medium-sized business owners to increase the value of their business to the extent that they could actually sell it and fund their retirement. And that was really the first iteration of what became EBITDA Growth Systems and our brand promise, which is to double the valuation of small, medium-sized businesses, specifically in terms of an exit, but double their valuation, or we give them their money back.
Again, just like usual, when I hear somebody talk, it leads to branches of questions. The first thing I love that you said, Ming, by the way, is you said, in my heart, I'm an engineer. So I continued to do it. Christian, is there anything in your heart that you think you are, that you've tried? I thought in my heart, I'm a supermodel. That didn't work out for me at all. So I'm glad Ming was able to start a machine shop. Was there anything you are in your heart?
Yeah, like a rapper, or like the singer of like a metal band or something.
Yeah.
Something like that. That's what I should have been,
In your heart, right?
Yeah, in my heart.
Yeah, except he went after it. Unlike us in our heart, I'm not a runway model. I didn't have the height. So I like that you said that. Something else I was very curious, and for a massive amount of our audience, since we're in manufacturing, and Christian, this might be absolutely off the charts, no knowledge whatsoever, but this is intriguing to me. Ming said just now, he said, I got a Haas because it was the only one I knew about, and they had sticker price on their website. Those two things, to me, when it comes to marketing products, are incredible. And I'll tell you why. Haas is the #1 machine company in the country when it comes to supporting education. So a lot of the young kids only know about Haas and the interface of Haas, and that makes sense. So if you're out there and you want to be widely known, get with your middle schools, high schools, trade schools, donate products, get known. Did you not just hear this young man say he started his machine shop based on what he knew? And then for you machine companies out there, if you're not scared to drop prices on your website, do it. It's obviously why he bought the product. He could see exactly what he was getting. Made all the sense in the world. Okay, so currently today in your shop, what do you have to make parts in it as you're continuing to grow and expand?
I have two Haas mill, VF3, VF4, kind of like a twin, both with 5-axis trunnion. I have a DF30Y. That was the second machine that I bought after the VF3. And I have a Eurotech twin spindle twin turret, which is a very intricate machine to work with. Still learning every single day. And also have a DMG Mori NOX 700, which I consider is a beefed up version of the lathe. So given the type of material we start to tap into.
I like that. Did you work with Merrifield for that Eurotech, by the way? Yeah.
Eurotech, yes.
So shout out to Nick. We like that
Nick.
guy.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. In fact, we'll be hosting his open house here in a couple of weeks as well. So
Great.
Heading up to Michigan. Hopefully you'll be there, and I'll see you there as well.
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right. So you started as a contract manufacturer. In fact, the company you worked for started paying you to make parts for them from the place you left, right?
Well, actually, it's some other company that wanting to source some part. The previous employee that I work with, they're more focused on accessory and their own brand, and then the customer always have different requirement and different demand. It just this portion of the demand that I'm able to accommodate. So they really put some trust in me. So allow me to tackle into some parts. So and thinking back now, although all the parts works. And there's a lot of process that we're missing, and we did things a little too flexible. But we are doing, it's a continuously learning process as we get into more higher end work, more intricate parts, and we need to really keep up with now the name in the Q2 machining. We have a slogan of making quality in quantity. So as you said in the open statement, that the quality is the most important thing. I hold that very important in my heart. So without quality, there's nothing come after that. So making one part is one thing. To me, I think there's a few stages in manufacturing. Making one part right is from 0 to 1, and to be able to run the machine shop / job shop is from 1 to 10, and making a scalable manufacturing business is from 10 to 100. So I'm definitely in the early stage of that of that journey now. Humbly speaking, I think I'm at maybe 5, 6 right now, trying to figure out how to make a really, really good machine shop, and then with all the processes in place, and I'm trying to build this business to be more scalable.
So we want to talk about a little bit about how you plan to scale. You currently make your own line of products as well, because I've been to your website. That's correct? You make your own line?
Yes, I do, and this represents possibly less than 1% of the business. So this is a front. I mean, we only have so many hours in a day, and I truly do want to make my own product. It's just at this time we have customers' requirement and some timeline we have to meet. So yeah, I guess, is it ever gonna stop? Probably no, right?
Probably no.
Yeah, so we'll see. Because the first couple of years we made a lot of decision based on customer requirements. Sometimes it worked out perfectly. Sometimes it didn't work out. So this is my third year into the business. We'll head into fourth. So I'm trying to summarize what the good I did, what the mistake I made in the past, especially the first couple of years, and try to learn from it, and also. Be able to see some other shops. When I get into this industry, YouTube is my most important teacher, and for a very long time we have my YouTube homepage is filled with all this machining, with all this content with your face showing up pretty much half of the time. So
that's a good thing, guys. I mean, maybe not my face per se, but education of some sort.
Yes. I think not only learning how to like program this feature, how to cut this part, if this end mill or that drill. Also, by looking into other people's content, especially with what yours provided, visiting other shop, visiting other manufacturer. The first couple times I'm seeing, okay, this is a very fancy, very cool machine, and then later on I started to see what captured in the background. Like what like tool card do they have in the background next to the machine? What kind of like Kanban they have on there? What kind of process they are following? How organized? What the line? What the tape looks like on their shop floor? All these things is what I started to pick up now, and knowing this is the way I need to be. This is the direction I need to head to if I ever want to be a scalable manufacturing business.
Ming, it's brilliant. Christian, you'll probably understand this. Ming, you may, being that you're in South Florida. Every time Ming talks, it makes me feel like I'm a banyan tree, and these roots just keep growing, and these branches. I mean, you've seen the banyan trees in Florida, right? Their branches turn into roots, and they continue to grow and grow because every time I have more and more questions. All right, I'm going to do my best to try and keep this in some kind of chronological order based on my curiosities. But I'll probably, I'll probably get lost. No, you're doing great. I'm going to get lost based on my own curiosities. All right, it takes some grande huevos to have a Tormac in your garage and then say, I'm going to start a machine shop first of all. Then you said, not only am I going to start a machine shop, I'm going to do it right at the height of COVID. And we don't know what's coming next because I can get a good deal on a machine. Can you talk about... I would like, if you could, to talk to the audience out there who are entrepreneurial. Oh, man, words with me, I tell you, sometimes. Entrepreneurial, who are on that fence right now saying, I, too, would like to start a shop. I'm considering something for my garage, or I'm considering to rent a space. Could you talk about the emotional ride, or maybe for you is just confidence? I'm going to do it. I'm going to spend my 10,000 hours. I'm going to be great at it. I mean, I don't know this answer, but would you mind sharing that moment of I'm going to do my own thing and what it took to do that?
I think the very important thing is, especially if you have a family, you have to have your family support. So I was very fortunate. My wife gave her 100%, 200% support of me going out.
You married twins?
Doing my, I'm sorry?
No, you married twins? You said 200%.
Yeah. My wife Sarah, she gave me all the support that I can ever wanted. So, and then the rest, get into it. To be honest, you don't know what you're getting into. If you think you're prepared, you're probably still underprepared, and you will never be fully prepared. So just, I'm always the guy that try to fly without wings. I think this is, if you ever wanted to be an entrepreneur, if you have the entrepreneur in your heart, I think you have to be that kind of person. And if you ever just decided to try, well, there's no coming back. Just all in.
Yeah, I think that's very valuable to say. What's that quote? I love that quote. Something about if you step off the cliff, what if I fall? Yeah, but what if you fly?
Right.
You know. So you started with the Tormac. You went in for a Haas, as we've already described. You already said some other great machines like a DMG Mori, like a Eurotech. Currently, there's an audience listening right now, I'm sure, guaranteed, because there always is, that's looking for a quality partner to make parts for them, right?
Yes.
You and I both value our friend Kyle, a good friend who we consider the millennial manufacturers. He was about his mid-20s when he started a machine shop and went straight into 5-axis machining. And he's one of those great guys that is willing to give all the information that he knows to help other people succeed, and he's not afraid of losing work or being outplayed because the quality of what he does is superior, so he's willing to help those around him, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I really, really want to give a shout out to my friend Kyle. I consider Kyle not only a friend, it's also like a mentor to me, because coming into the business, I had no idea how serious machining need to be. And very interesting that I know Kyle. It was the first time my house delivered. So I got into this industrial compound. I have no idea who is around me, and I was waiting to do the delivery of my very first house machine. And I can see the truck pulling in, and I waited. 15 minutes later, the truck still didn't show up my door. I started to walk around trying to find the machine, and all of a sudden I see this guy outside scratching his head, thinking he bought a machine. And then, hey, that's Kyle. So definitely had no idea who he was back then, but he was very, very helpful, because every time I have a question, I would go knock on his door, and he'll just dump all the knowledge to me that he has. Sometimes overloaded me, and I definitely learned a lot from him, and knowing what he can do. And I think his ability to describe things, and his willingness to share his knowledge and his wisdom, I think, shout out to you, Kyle. Thank you.
Go ahead and give a shout out to his company as well while you're at it.
KCS Advanced Machining Series. I think I said it right.
Yeah, good job. All right, so the reason I was bringing all that up and the mentorship and Kyle, and he has a couple of Matsuras, and he's got parts where he's machining his logo into the mold of the foot so he can have his logo on the moon, because some of his parts are going into space, right? So a lot of curiosities. The point of why I brought all that up is because I'd love for you to describe to an audience right now who's looking for that quality partner like yourself, that's done that 10,000 hours to create perfection, that believes in themselves, that's made this leap, and describe to them where you can confidently say right now, I can support you with these types of machining projects, these types of parts, what sizes, what capabilities, just so they know, okay, I've heard this podcast today. I heard this young man named Ming on the Gunn Show Podcast, and he sounded like a quality guy, but what are his capabilities? Can I reach out to him? So we'll eventually get to your website. We'll get to an email, maybe your social security number, home address, so they can find you. Obviously, we won't do that. But some of these things, right, so they understand exactly why and how or when they should reach out to you.
Yes, we consider ourselves pretty decent in mill and turn part. So any round part below 4 inches and over half inches, I consider ourselves be very competitive doing that. All of our turn mill machines are at least twin spindle, at least one turret. Everything is bar fed, automated loading and unloading. So I think this plays a very important role in our company structure. And also on the mill side, we are able to support all the 3-axis, your conventional milling, and 5-axis up to 230 millimeter diameter work envelope. So we continuously build the infrastructure for our shop. And also, anytime that the customer would require a CMM for any sort of inspection, we also do have a Zeiss Duramax CMM on our floor, just to meet customers' expectation. Funny thing is, when we first tap into our first large contract, that is AR-15 bolt carrier. It's a tubular part. Mostly all the dimensions on there are just linear numbers. And then the very second part that we tap into, all of a sudden there's a symbol on the right next to the number, looks like crosshair. I said, what that crosshair symbol means, right? And then we quickly know, okay, true positioning, and what really true position means, right? How do you even measure that? So we grow the business based on customers' demand, customers' requirement. I think early on we were able to tap into very, very high and very, very high quality work, and a customer really push us to be as good as you are in quality. So we were able to invest a lot in the quality system pretty early on, and I think now the new prospect, new customer walking in, they see our machine, they see our inspection process, they see the quality that we are able to produce. I think they're happy. So every single year we're growing. So 2 years ago I couldn't imagine sitting here talking to you, and who knows where I will be 2 years from now, right?
We'll have to do the show again 2 years from now.
All right.
And figure it out. So quality with quantity. We've all seen the chart, right? Quality, quantity, time. You can't have all three, but people are now saying you can. You can have quality and quantity and a good price. So I don't know if that's true or not, but it seems to be leading in that direction. Would you like to talk about, we're going to get Christian back excited again is what we're going to do. You know,
Sure.
these kids outside of manufacturing, you and I can talk about this stuff all day long,
Yes.
but let's talk about the gun stuff a little bit more. You're making, even though you said it's less than 1% of your overall manufacturing, I can imagine you'd love to make this full time, right? Like I've been into some of the largest gun manufacturers on the planet. Sometimes I can't film, sometimes I can film, but I've been into them. I can imagine that with your background and your love for this type of stuff, you would really appreciate an opportunity to grow that side of the business, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So let's talk about what you make, the differences of what you make, and if somebody's looking for that type of partner or that type of speciality, how you support them. Let's grow your personal brand now.
Yes, I think you have to have some passion for the part you make. And me, I came from firearm industry. I do have a passion. I do have the eye, and I do want to always chase for that perfection. So it can be a muzzle device, it can be a slide, and then the part coming off, it has to be meticulous. I think you just have to have the eye to be able to see the details that no one else see. So after SHOT Show, we were able to secure a couple very, very good customers, and customers, especially with the bigger name, and then they're in the industry long enough. So, with some brand, some product, 20 years, 20, 30 years, it's already it's existent. There is opportunity for them to be renovated in terms of the process of manufacturing. Because 20, 30 years later, there's no good machine that we have today. And there's no good inspection process that we have today. So we can definitely provide you really, really good value in terms of how you want to bring your legacy part and find a very, very nice competitive solution and to really try to revamp it on your behalf.
Hey everybody, Mike Franz here with Shop Floor Coffee. For 20 years, we've been seeing the same issues going on with workforce development and the shortage in workers across the industry. We wanted a way to give back. Shop Floor Coffee is our way to do that. Proceeds from every bag or every type of coffee you buy from us go back to the community. We work with amazing programs and initiatives across the country where we're giving back. We want to help support the community, come together with us, join us in this effort to help support the community. Please, thank you very much.
I'm going to ask this question again because while I know exactly what you're talking about, I want you to try and paint a picture for people who can only hear us. Be as vivid as possible when you're talking about your personal product. Is it, and I know this answer, but I'm going to ask the question so you understand what I'm trying to create. Is it barrels of gun? Is it handles of gun? Is it the full gun? Is it the chamber? What parts are you making with this meticulous accuracy and detail and beauty that you love because you come from that world? When someone decides right now, I got to go to that website, what is it that you are making that somebody can go and either have you make more of for them, maybe private labeled, or buy from you?
Personal, like a company product-wise, we have a magazine, pistol magazine base pad that would add weight, and it will help to let your magazine drop more freely and give you more competitive advantage, especially when shooting competition. And also we provide solutions for some pistol that do require different type of red dot optics put on there. A red dot have different footprint, and a different pistol slide have different receiving end as well. So we make different type of optic plate that, again, to try to solve your problem, try to bring in a solution.
And what problems would I have that you're solving? I'm coming from an area of little expertise, and I'm playing this role because I want you to paint a picture for an audience out there. You're solving which problems that currently exist?
Well, the problem is you get this optic, you get that pistol. If they don't go together right off the bat, you're out of luck. It's just not going to go on. And we do provide a good selection of options that you can purchase from us, and then they fit.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
You ever considered moving down here to Florida? There's a lot of guns down here.
Yes. Well, consider how good the weather is. I definitely would.
Christian, I'm actually going to leave this open for you real quick, just because on this topic and curiosity, and I know you have a curiosity for this side of things, and I like to bring you in whenever I can. And maybe you don't have a question. Maybe you're just enjoying listening today, like hopefully the audience is as well, and you can just give me a pass. But I want to leave this open for you as well. Ming and I have talked a lot about manufacturing, talked about the courage of hopping into the confidence, the courage to hop into his own shop at the beginning of COVID, to go from a Tormac, which industry-wide is a great starter machine, but it's not going to be one that will take a machine shop to the evolution of what comes next. But he has invested in a DMG Mori, which is a piece of that puzzle as well. So he's gone from that beginning to that end, and he and I can talk about that all day. Obviously, I'm being long-winded, Christian, because I'm waiting for you to look at me to see if you do have a question for Ming or not, and I'm purposely being a super run-on sentence.
I'm looking at you on the screen here. I'm looking right into your eyes on the screen.
Oh, is that what's happening?
I realized I'm not really looking at you.
So I want to leave this open for you as well, because I want Ming to be able to answer some of the questions of the outside audience as well, who's just intrigued by someone who does this kind of thing, someone who's been third in the world, someone who has now been third in the world and decided to make parts to this meticulous calibration. I want to leave it open for you as well.
I actually do have a question. Obviously, you're a competitive shooter. We know that. We know you're in manufacturing. Would you, I know this is a big, would probably be a massive shift, but would you ever consider creating your own firearm?
Yes, this is definitely the ultimate dream. I think in firearm industry itself, I'm taking the step backward as in from bottom up. So I started as a user, right? I shoot, I buy, I shoot, I pull triggers. And then during college, I was able to get my instructor license and started to teach some class. So that's education portion. And after college, I got into this company and knowing the sales distribution of the industry. Now I'm doing the manufacturing and know how it's made. The very last step was design. So if, for whatever reason, when the time is right, when I was able to get the design portion tackled down, I'm able to vertically integrate everything. So that would be my ultimate goal to make it happen.
That's the 11,000th hour, not the 10,000. That's the 11,000th hour right there. All right, I have two questions before we get into these games.
Yes.
The first one, neither of these are, well, actually one of them is in chronological order, but the other one's just out of the blue. But it's something I'm curious about, and I think an audience who's either started their own machine shop can empathize or is curious about if they want to start a machine shop. And it's just a general question of, would you mind describing one of your either more difficult projects, more difficult days, something that you had to overcome, a moment where you second-guessed starting a machine shop and thought, is this the right idea? Or if you just always loved it the entire time? Because we all see, look at all this success these people have, and we forget about the journey. I think the journey is important, and being able to offer a moment of saying, yeah, there was this one time in this one project, man, I scrapped a few parts or whatever it might be, and I questioned, if this was possible. Do you have any stories that you can share to connect with the audience today about a hardship that you've had amongst this, starting during the height of COVID up until now for about 3 going into 4 years?
I can think about countless times that I'm questioning myself. Hey, is the right thing given the amount of hours, given the amount of money that I dump into the business? Is it the right thing? But ultimately, you have to ask yourself: is it what really what you love to do? And oftentimes the answer is yes. Not 100%, but oftentimes the answer is yes. And now back to you, the most difficult project is, I think it's we can circle back to my very first project doing AR-15 bolt carrier group. This customer came in and say, "Hey, Ming, COVID time, we have trouble finding the supplies. So can you make this?" And I was okay, sure, yeah. Let me just buy a lathe, right? And then because I have no lathe background whatsoever, so my very first lathe was twin spindle and Y-axis live tool bar fed lathe.
Go big or go home, right?
Yes, and then trying to work with fusion. Okay, how do I do this? How do I cut part like this, right? So what kind of lathe insert are there? I had no idea.
Wow.
But customer will just say, hey, you go figure out. So I'm not letting my customer down. So I spent a good a month and a half, also with a lot of my friends Kyle's help, trying to tell me, okay, you gotta utilize some macro. I was like, what's macro? Okay, you just gotta store this number somewhere and then try to utilize this number. And okay, that makes sense. So for a lot of people, that doesn't make sense. For me, I think it just clicked. And I spend a lot of time and trying to figure out how to command the sub spindle to do what I do. And I had a part at my shop. I have a bolt carrier group twisted that completely because I key in the wrong command.
Oh no!
So just like that. So there's yeah.
There's always going to be something, right?
Yeah, yes.
There's always going to be something new to learn, something going on. So
it's every day. Yes,
the reason I asked that question also is because we must be we must be strong when something like that happens, right? To bounce back. We're all gonna fall. It's about getting up again. So when you did that, when you went into that, when that happened, what did you do to bounce back? What did you do to go, you know what, I got this. Let's move forward. Give my buddy Kyle a high five and let's make this part.
Right. Yeah. I think you just have to be 100% commit to what you do. And oftentimes, when you're in this long enough, you just have to take a step back. Hey, am I going into the right direction? If I'm not approaching this with the right angle, you're never gonna get a good result. So definitely, with a lot of outside people's help, I was able to maneuver these type of obstacle rather quickly. And also, it's very important to be able to communicate with your customer. Hey, there might be some delays. Are you okay with that? And they're okay. So we have to commit to that deadline. And whatever hours I need to put in, I'll put in.
I wasn't planning to ask this question, so I guess I still have two more. I'm gonna probably have two more for the rest of the day. It's always
do that.
two. It's like cutting off what's that dragon's head? You cut off one and three more grow back or whatever. The Hydra. That's what it is. Yeah, you were about to say that, weren't you, Christian? Yeah, the Hydra. There's always more questions. But based on this immediate situation of a difficult and a new and a trial and moving on to success, would you recommend starting a machine shop or getting into manufacturing for the next gen of kids, the middle schoolers, the high schoolers, the young adults that maybe don't know what they want to get into yet? Would you recommend this industry for them?
I think that's the question you have to ask yourself. Are you that guy? Are you a hands-on person? If you are, I think the chances you're gonna be good in manufacturing business. And I was at the Kennedy Space Center with my wife and kids just over the weekend, and I really respect the content they brought out. It's not really a museum like. It's not 100% of history. It's more about inspiration. I think with what you do and what other media creators, the content creators out there, it's about inspiration. Inspire the young generation, inspire the kids. Hey, this can be fun, right? You get a chance to work with the most complicated part, and the part that can go to space, the part goes to medical that can save people's life. So are you that person? Is it what you really wanted to do? So if so, be it. Do it.
I like it. Are you ready for your last question before we
Yes.
move into games?
Yes.
What does the future look like? What do your plans look like? Do you look to expand? Christian had a great question about making your own gun, which I think is a part of this answer. But what do you see in the next 2, 3, 5, 10 years for what you're doing? What would be your dream?
I would definitely try to utilize all the resources that I already possess and focus on, again, the quality. I think starting off with firearm industry, and we're now start to tackle into different industries, some aerospace, some oil gas, and we want to implement this this quality system rather early on. We still have a very small shop, and for all the people that are coming from aerospace industries, they all recommend me, say, hey, Ming, while your shop is small, get the get the QMS in place, which that's what I'm currently working on right now. Implement the ERP and implement the quality system we're targeted for AS9100. So within 6 to 12 months time frame, we'll get that figured out. And in the meanwhile, I still have some little bit shop space. Well, I started with one single unit on the multi-tenant industrial building, and now I have 3. So I still have a little bit of space, and I'm trying to utilize all this space, and then also to bring good quality people on board, and then provide a platform for people that can really dance. So if you have what it takes, feel free to reach out to me. Just a little advertisement. We're in Southeast Michigan, Livonia, Metro Detroit area. So if you're in the area, if you're into this most advanced machinery, and let's talk.
What's your website?
My website is q2machining.com.
Perfect. All right. I have one piece of unsolicited advice, if it's okay with you.
Sure.
And then I have one favor to ask of you, if it's okay with you.
Okay.
The unsolicited advice is reach out to my friends at ProShop ERP. My friend Paul, he helps people get AS9100s in as quick as 2 weeks.
You know what? That's what I'm using.
Hey! All right. Shout out to ProShop Paul out there. We love you, buddy.
Yes.
The second one is do me a favor, please. And I want to help you grow. And I think I consider you a friend. I think you're a genuine person, a great human being. Start a LinkedIn page for your company. So when we release this podcast, I can tag you. I can help you grow. Is that a deal?
Deal.
Awesome. High five for that. All right, let's do it. Sound effects challenge up first. Christian, are we ready with some probably wretched sound effects, as you're going to probably try and trick us again?
I always have the worst sound effects pulled up for you guys. So let's see what we can do here.
Let's see if I watch enough factory videos to know that.
I'm sure you will. While Christian pulls those up, I'm just going to go back to, because Ming just said that, he watches a lot of YouTube videos. For those of you out there who aren't marketing through social media and YouTube yet, contact MTD. I mean, for crying out loud, a whole generation, a second generation is learning through these social media platforms. I absolutely value magazines and text and these types of things as well. Obviously, we're doing a podcast right now, but videos on YouTube and LinkedIn, that's the power, man. That is the power. So, did you get all queued up, Christian?
We're ready. Let's do it.
All right, buddy. You gonna throw like a Darth Vader in there breathing this time, or what? Somebody already guessed that.
Not yet, actually.
All right.
Here's our first one.
Let's go.
"3D printer."
That's what it sounds like to me too.
Yep, nailed it.
Nailed it. Good job.
Perfect.
1 for 1. Well done, Ming. Do you have a 3D printer?
Yes, I have one.
What do you have?
Oh, it's Amazon bought. I don't really recall the brand already. I had that printer for like 5 years, and then knowing how good the printers are nowadays, I'm definitely considering an upgrade right now.
Yeah. Well, it's good to test it out first, right?
Yeah.
Make sure it's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
What's our second one, buddy?
Second one, here it comes.
Laser engraver. Laser engraver.
Welding.
It's welding.
Welding.
Yeah.
But it could be a laser engraver as well.
Yeah.
Next one.
Okay, ready when you are.
We got some people talking too.
Yeah, we do. I think it's just people talking.
No. It's coming.
What the heck? A struggling coffee pot? I mean, people were talking around the water cooler, right? What's going on here? Ming, do you have any idea what that was?
Let me give you a hint. You did previously guess this one.
Oh, goodness
Okay,
gracious.
Then it's gonna be engraver, right?
Yep.
Oh, good
Yeah,
job.
some electronic is failing or something.
That did sound terrible. What the heck? Laser engraver it is. All right, we got a couple of would you rathers as we're closing down on our time, Ming. So I'm going to ask you, instead of just picking them myself, I've been allowing the person to pick their own demise. What's your favorite number? Between 1 and 40.
12.
12. Do people pick 12 a lot? I feel like that's a common one, Christian. Seven I hear a lot.
seven's
Yeah.
common. Yeah, I know that.
Okay. 12. Would you rather have a successful PPC campaign with high costs or an organic social media strategy with slow growth?
Explain to me what's the question again? PPC?
You know what's funny? I don't know what PPC is either. Do you know what PPC is?
No. I can Google it though.
I should probably ask a question that I know the answer to as well, right? All right, let's go with, let me see here.
Stands for pay-per-click. I don't know if that's the right
pay
PPC.
per click. That would be one paper. All right, let's go with, I have a different set of 12.
Sure.
Would you rather be responsible for the manufacturing of life-saving medical devices or innovative space exploration equipment?
Space exploration.
Yeah, you want to go space?
Yes.
Would you be, if somebody said, join me and let's go to Mars, would you go?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Christian, what would you do? Would you go to Mars too?
If it was guaranteed that I lived and could make it back.
There's no guarantees.
Okay, then no.
Oh man, that's a good question. I would love to hear the audience as well. Would you rather create life-saving medical devices or innovative space exploration equipment? Leave that in the comments. I'd love to hear from the audience as well, because I think I sit on the fence. I think I'd like to help people here and now, but space is also pretty dope. All right, what's your second favorite number?
Let's do 16.
Would you rather have a job ensuring the safety of manufacturing workers or improving the environmental sustainability of manufacturing processes?
I'll focus on my job on improvement.
Okay. I like that. All right, one more. You ready? Last one for the day.
Go.
Favorite number?
19.
19 it is. A lot of teens in here for you. Would you... Hey, I just watched Willy Wonka. This is interesting. Actually, the new Willy Wonka movie is quite good. Have you seen it yet, Christian? No. It's kind of like a musical, but also they did a good job with it. I don't mind. Although I'm a pretty sensitive soul, so maybe you shake your head because you just want to punch people in MMA, and
No.
and I want to shed a tear in joy. Well, sharing too much of myself today. All right, 19. Would you rather be involved in the artisanal chocolate making process or in brewing craft beer at scale?
Oh, let me do chocolate.
Oh, you're a Willy Wonka too, huh?
Yeah.
I like it. All right, my friend. I'm going to leave the floor open to you. Just if you have any final messages you'd like to say to the audience, anything about reaching out to you. We've already done your website. We've shared your journey. We've allowed you to speak to other entrepreneurs that might be out there. But if there's any last messages, and you don't have to say anything. Sometimes I throw people right on the spot. There's like, what do you mean? I don't have anything to say. But if you do, you're more than welcome to say it now, and then I'll just close out this podcast with gratitude.
Yes, again, thank you for inviting me down here in Florida, and thank you for the platform that we can talk a little bit. And the past 3.5 years has been a very, very interesting journey in my life. And it doesn't matter what I do in the future. I think I always hold this time frame the most important. Being in the manufacturing is not for everybody, and I think you really, really do have the will to keep on pushing and to be excellent. You have to be able to see the details on all the parts that you make. You have to be extremely disciplined on the way you do things. So again, I really appreciate all the mentors that help me, and all the suppliers, vendors that would help me along the ways. And always it's important that we focus on the next generation, and we want to bring good people on the team, and we want to make sure that the next generation do have the ability to continuously pursue this manufacturing journey.
And if I may, I'm going to shake your hand. Thank you so much. Q2 Machining, making quality in quantity. But when I close this out, I also want to thank your wife. I think that it's very important that the families that we have surrounding us support our dreams and goals. And sometimes it's not always easy, right? So Let me just go ahead and thank your wife out there as well. All right, my friends. And just like that, we've reached the end of today's journey on the Gunn Show, where we've ventured behind the curtain of the manufacturing industry. In this case, my buddy, Mr. Qian here, illuminating the unseen gears and cogs that power our lives. It's been an enlightening ride from the heart of reshoring to the embrace of diversity, proving that the strength of our future lies in the hands who make, innovate, and reshape the world from the ground up. Remember, reshoring isn't just about bringing jobs back. It's about revitalizing our communities, bolstering our economy, and securing our independence. Diversity, on the other hand, isn't just nice to have, it's a must-have. A catalyst for innovation, a tapestry of perspectives, enriching our collective imagination. As we wrap up today's episode, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you for sharing the most precious commodity we have, your time. Time, unlike any material we mold, machine, or master, is the true fabric of life, and spending a fraction of it with us today means more than you know. In the words of Albert Einstein, the value of a man resides in what he gives and not in what he is capable of receiving. Today, you've given us something invaluable, your attention and curiosity. So as we part ways, remember, the next time you hold a gadget, wear a piece of clothing, or drive a car, think about the unseen heroes and the diverse hands that crafted them. Let's champion the cause of reshoring and diversity, not just in words, but in actions, because every small step we take is a giant leap for the manufacturing world. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. This is the Gunn Show signing off, but never stepping back from making the invisible visible.